Hi everyone, sorry for being late. Oh, some popular faces.
Oliver, hey. Olivier.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
I'm recognizing it.
Is everyone here?
A lot of people here.
Cool, a lot of people. Um, I'm gonna start then by cleaning my messy desk. It's just gonna be messy, that's fine. Hi everyone, so I will start by presenting myself. As you can hear, I have a pretty bad accent. I'm French, but I'm living in the US, so you will have to suffer my accents and my misspelling and everything like that. Hope it will be fine. I think today is like just a day for presenting ourselves and just reviewing a bit like how we are gonna organize a bit the book club, how everyone can share. I will do a quick tour of the various place where you can find stuff, everything like that. Um, I think about it as more like even if we read a book, it's also a place where you can share everything you want. Feel free to do that. I have no like plan. I mean, that's if you encounter some difficulty, if you have like some trouble you want to review. I think it's good that we can also use that space for that, but you can also use Slack and all those classical way of communicating. So let's start by um, I will do a bit shorter than what was like written in the presentation notes. Let's start by presentation. So I have introduced who I am. Maybe I should say like I work as a data engineer, but I was doing research in geography, so I do not consider myself as a computer people. What are my expectations? No, so first, who are you? Then what are your expectations about this book club, and specifically about like the book Advanced R. My expectation are mostly like using all the knowledge that Hadley Wickham have piled into that to improve mine. So shortcutting like all the difficulty from him directly to my work. And I'm living in Greensboro right now. So go grasshoppers, I guess. That's it. And I'm gonna ask Direct to present himself because he's right on my.
Hi all, I'm Derek Solberger. I teach introductory data science at Princeton University. But honestly, beyond teaching introductory materials, I don't actually deal with complex projects all that often, so I'm here to learn the advanced stuff. And I guess I'll popcorn it over to Gabby.
Right. So I am Gabby. I think constantly asking questions in Slack, and Derek and Olivier and a lot of you, because I recognize your names, have been so gracious and kind to answer all my inane questions, because sometimes I ask very silly questions. I'm not a data scientist, that's why I ask all those questions.
Yes.
I am an ecologist, but I do a lot of models and a lot of things in R. So I tried to read this book before, but I was too busy and couldn't. So let's hope that this is the time, and this is gonna be the one that I'm gonna finish it. So yeah, that's me. My internet connection is really bad, so I hope you were able to get all of that. And now I'm gonna send it to Joe Harding, and thank you everyone.
Great, thank you. I'm Jo Harden. I'm a statistician and I teach at Pomona College in Southern California. I teach statistics and data science, and I use a lot of the things in this book, particularly like the map family of functionals. And I just like go on Stack Overflow and I keep trying things until it works. And I don't really understand what's going on. And so for me, it's like, okay, I really need this like holistic perspective on how all these pieces work together, because I can usually figure it out for myself, but it's very hard for me to explain to my students. So looking forward to kind of having that understanding. So next on my screen is Jeffrey Stevens.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff. I'm a professor in the Department of Psychology at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. So I'm not a data scientist per se, but I use this in my work every day. I have R Studio open every day. So this is and I teach this. I teach an R course and to the psychology students here. Hey, there we go. Go Huskers. Yeah, go Big Red. I study canine cognition and human interaction. So I study dogs and their behavior and how dogs interact with humans. So you might see dogs running around behind me occasionally. What I'm super excited about is I've been using R for 15 years now or so, tidyverse for 5+. But it's just been to like get the job done, all right, to do like Joe said, and like just go hit Stack Overflow and figure out how the heck map and map2 and pmap and all that, all of that kind of stuff. So my aim here is to level things up, but to really become strong at functional programming. I'm a little weary about the object-oriented programming. We'll see how that part of it goes, but I'm super excited about functional programming. I'll hand it to Steffi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Steffi Lazert. I'm in Canada, in the middle of the province of the country, in Manitoba. I'm in Brandon, if anyone's familiar. It's a very small city. It's snowing now, and I'm really unhappy about that. It's not supposed to be snowing. I'm very unhappy about that. Okay, so my background is I'm also a science background. I worked on animal behavior, wild birds for the most part, but in the last 6 to 7 years, I've been working as my own business as an independent consultant, mostly for anything related to R. So I'm mostly in the bird world. So I do tend to help people with a lot of workflows and writing R packages to help bird research. But I work in anything in the natural sciences, again, mostly in Canada. I also work part-time for our OpenSci. I'm not sure if many of you have heard of that organization. And so I help Shani, our community manager. So I help. We do co-working and things like that. And so I'm a community assistant there. I'm really excited about this book because, I write R packages, I do workflows. And so I'm always learning kind of on the fly as I go through these things. And, I'm always like, I pull up this book all the time as a reference. And I think like Joe mentioned, like I just never really had a chance to really dive in deep. And when you don't have a salary, it's very hard for you to be like, I'm going to read and review this every day. So I'm really excited to have a book club to help me kind of keep that accountability up, because I think it'll be really awesome to kind of get a chance to learn that. So thank you. I think Joel's next on my screen. Joel, have you already introduced yourself?
I have not.
Okay, good.
My name is Joel. I'm a data scientist at a logistics company in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where I've been working there for about 2 years. I use R every day, but after looking through this book, I think it's really clear that there's so much here that's going to help me understand how R is really working. So I'm really excited to kind of take my understanding of R to the next level and then apply it every day. Yeah, so John, what about you?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. John Ellis. I am also in a small town called Greensboro, and R was my first language that I learned, but I've kind of turned to the dark side over the last couple of years and switched to Python and realized how rusty I've gotten and really want to expand my skills in it. I'm a data scientist as well, working with the transportation industry and do a lot of geospatial analytics. And I also teach data visualization, AI, and data analytics courses at boot camp level, undergraduate, graduate level, and professional certificate level. Diana, did you go?
Hi, sorry about that. Hi, everyone. My name is Diana Garcia. I'm a computational biologist at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston. I'm a software engineer by training who always wanted to apply computer science into genomics and biology. So yeah, and I've been living in Boston for almost 5 months. This is my first job in the US. I'm from Mexico City, and I'm really excited to join this group. I remember that I started reading this book a while ago, but I didn't finish it. So it's a great opportunity for me to actually do it. So thank you. Sorry, I think I need to pick someone else, right? I don't know who's Steffi?
I went just a couple of times ago.
I can take over if you don't mind.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know it's hard to spell my name. That's totally okay. Hey everyone, I am Funny here. I live in Austin, Texas. Very hot here. So I'm just switching off my video earlier because I'm working with my shut off. It's burning hot here, so I just work from home. So that's the reason why. And regarding the R word, I am I don't know how I put it out. I'm a data analyst, but using SAS. Yeah, Tata Funny, but Funny, I would go with Funny. Thank you. Thanks for reminding out. So Tata Funny is my Gmail account or whatever that is. Okay. So that's the reason why. And by the way, I have been using R in and out for the clinical trials data, but not on a professional level. But I have been using it for a while, learning it from the book club earlier, and then coming back to the advanced thing. The thing is, the the reason for coming here is that the book is so organized from one step to another, rather than picking it from all different directions and then going back and see what only like a fill in the blanks, which I really didn't like it. And somehow I just want to have an organized way of learning so that it would be the complete flow of thought would be, would be there. And I tried to read this book as others earlier, but somehow got in between and left it, and I'm coming back to learn this book. Yeah, that's pretty much from my side.
You can pick someone who haven't talked.
The last one, I'm sorry, Ajumboy. Yeah. She's the one I think he did not present himself, right? Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, look at me. That's good.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Hi. Apparently, I don't know whether I'm in the right group. Basically, I'm a SaaS user, and I've kind of joined the Slack channel for some months, but I've not really been active. I think I thought this course was going to start last week, and I was on, but somehow I think I missed it, or maybe I missed the information. I'm a SaaS user, but I'm an epidemiologist with the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services. But majority of the workflows that I made were practically in R, basically, and I've kind of have to pick up R again, starting with the R for data science, basically. So I'm trying to learn more. I've not finished that book yet, but I'm in the later part of the book, basically. So that's why I kind of said that I don't know whether I'm in the right group, whether I'm not proficient in R, that's the truth, basically. But I'm in and out. I learn R for some time, then I'll go back to my SaaS because that's the software I'm more comfortable with. But with the way things are going, with open source, SaaS is super expensive. My next role might be in R, so I don't know. So it's like I'm trying to get competent in R, basically. Thank you.
And you can
thanks.
pick someone.
That's a funny, yeah.
You can pick someone who didn't talk it. I think we are still missing some people. Go for it. If not,
I think it's just me left.
yeah, go.
Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Tinashe. I'm a PhD student at Northeastern, which is in the Boston area. I started using R during my psych undergrad and my master's courses. So that was maybe like 6 years ago or so. And I've been a big fan of R ever since. I think my biggest motivation for reading this book, just like everybody else here, you kind of spend time picking bits and pieces when you need them, but having a formal structure to learning it as the professionals recommend is always going to be useful. So as somebody who has also used Python that way, I know that like R, just generally, just by the fact that like we are all here, R has a very good community of structured learning and open learning, which is the complete opposite of Python, where you just kind of hack things until they work. So I want to make sure that like I take R at its face value and take advantage of what it can offer. And so this is one of the best learning communities for data science out there. And I'm glad to be part of it.
Great. James, did you talk? Did you present yourself? Okay.
No, I didn't. Hi, everyone. I'm James Capobianco. I'm a research and data librarian at the Harvard Kennedy School, so another Boston area person. So I support like mostly master's students doing like public policy research in R. So I've done R for a while, but I just finished up like a data science master's, a lot of Python and R. And so I think it's good. I really want to learn stuff here just to solidify my R skills and be able to assist people and sort of understand what's going on and hopefully keep it separate from Python stuff. We'll see. Thanks. Good to meet everyone.
Great. So I think let me share my screen. So that's my it's my computer job. So my computer for the job. So it's a bit messy. As you can see, I use I do not care like too much about the editor I'm using. I'm using either like iTerm, VS Code, RStudio, or Emacs. And you can probably use plenty of them. I use all of them. So, but what's here? It's interesting. Let's go into Slack. Let's review quickly the Slack channel. So there's plenty of Slack channel. So here you have like in pinned, you have like the book that we're gonna use. The share slide are here. It's gonna open it. With the notes. I don't know if you are familiar with the GitHub that generate it here, but it's also here. I have like a basic question. Is everyone familiar with Git and GitHub? Would it be useful if we just do like this step now, or do you think we can like? Because like I have my own GitHub workflow, which I do another way, but like I can try this one. I'm not picky.
I think it might be useful to review.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I also recommend like reviewing it within the context of how John designed it.
Yeah. So basically, like we are kind of lucky with this book club. It's because like a lot of people have worked previously on it. So as you see, like you have like this is like since it was organized, but like you have previous book club that working on it too. Oh, let me open the chat too and see this workflow. Oh yeah, I agree. Like it's like the workflow like presented here work very well. So I can give like maybe let's open RStudio.
Right, can I interrupt for a second here? I'm a little confused. I understand we're working out of a repo that's set up as like a book down site, but you keep talking about slides. Where we have
There's
slides?
not really slides. There are mostly HTML pages that you can see here. And
so when we talk about slides, what we mean are these chapters in the book.
So that's a very good question, because I understand that it can be confusing.
Are you a member of the Slack channel?
I am.
At the top of it in the pins resources, there's one called shared slides that will bring you to it.
That brings you to the book down book.
No, that's the book. The shared slides is next to it.
Yep, that's why it's confusing. Let me.
No, there's the book. She's right. Sophie's right. There's the book, and then there's a book down, which is called slides. So when people think, or some people think slides, they think like PowerPoint slides, and I don't think there exists any PowerPoint.
Or even like, you know, I'm also used to Quarto slides or, you know, sharing in slides or whatever. So, but I guess I was expecting an actual slide deck. This is a book though. And is that, I'm totally fine with that. I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. That's all.
No, that was great question and clarification. let me go back to Slack. So as you see here, the book
Yeah.
link to the correct book from Hadley Wickham, which I don't know. I think it's book down.
Right.
And the shared slide here are also book down documents. That's what we used before Cool Kids in Van Quarto. So you will have to suffer with us old folks.
And the only reason I'm being picky is that I'm presenting next week, so I need to I need to know
Oh,
what I'm doing.
yeah. So like, and you present chapter 2, so it's gonna be here. And there's already something
right. So
that
I
you
just
can use.
this is the stuff that I'll be modifying for the presentation, the slides. Okay.
Feel free to modify as much as you like.
Yeah.
What's important is more like you submit a pull request to it. I don't know if everyone is familiar with that.
Okay, so now we can go back here. Thanks. And now I know where we're at here. Sorry.
No, thanks. That was great. That's perfect. Like, definitely, like, this is not my first book club, as I have seen other folks here. But yeah, it was a great question. So basically, yes, if you're gonna submit a chapters, you're gonna follow this workflow, which is use this workflow, and then someone is gonna review it, mostly John, who's gonna accept it, and that we're gonna build this where is it? This book down that's mostly building HTML pages. If you are uncomfortable with that workflow, I do not mind if you do Google slide deck, a PowerPoint, whatever you want to show, like, or even if you don't want to show like a slide or follow structures, you can also just like open a terminal and do stuff like with like a structure. Obviously, I encourage you to structure it, but like, oh, I learned this code, I have done it with the terminal. Let's practice together with just what you are confident is the main goal. I think it's not the main goal, but it's an important goal on the book club, is also like you exercise yourself to speaking to what you learn and you interact with people. So I don't want, if you are unfamiliar with Git or GitHub and are afraid to share, that it's a limit. I prefer like you share something and everyone like is learning, so there is no trouble.
Quick comment. I know that the most of the book and also the Git plays very well with the Mac, but being a Windows person is a little bit different. And I had a lot of back and forth problems in doing whatever it has been written straight away. So might be we can add a Windows person like me, for the sake of other people.
Well,
because
it's a good point because I'm not a Windows user. For work I'm on Mac, but at home I'm on Linux, so I have no idea how that works.
I saw your screen. Yeah, when I saw your screen, that's when it pointed out. But I really don't know how many of them are here Windows people. Okay, I see. I use Windows and I've never used any issues. Okay, so maybe you can present it and then maybe I had some issues. So depending upon the operating system and all that stuff, so all those things.
Yeah, I can try to find a Windows box and see if you have some issue, like to try to solve them. Feel free like to share them on Slack. Normally, if you use RStudio and follow John's instruction, I think you will be fine.
I'll try it again. It's been a long time that I had that issue, but I'll try it again and clean slate and then do that.
Okay. Well, like, if you ever run into an issue, share them into Slack and we'll see like if some Windows also share in the broader scale. Because yeah, I'm definitely not a Windows person that can help you. I do not understand too much how this operating system works. Okay. So that was one question. Let's go back to the Slack. So here you have also claim a chapters and we are cohort 9. And if you click here, you're gonna see who is gonna present next week. Thanks, Steffi, for being the one who presents. And you can put your name on, and that's it. If not, I will do it. But like I have 2 kids and a job, so sometimes it's like hard.
I would take the functions.
Sure. So I let you do it. I think I pronounced it correctly. Funny?
Yes. If you can put it out right there, that would be easier.
You want me to do it? Sure.
Please, if you don't mind. Thank you.
No, I don't mind. Like that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And so that was one point. Let me review here. The GitHub is here, and the book came with exercise, and apparently there is a solution. I highly recommend that you try the exercise without checking the solution. But sometimes it's also better, like, you know, it's late, you're tired, and you are like banging your head against wall because it's not working. Like, sure, look the solution. Okay, I think I have introduced everything, the book, the shared slides, thanks Steffi, the claim chapters, the shared GitHub repo. Let's review like the process. So basically, because also like a lot of people work on that book, this is why like you should submit a pull request, and that make the code way easier to maintain. That's it. I think, do you have like any question, any remark, something like you want to share? If not, I'm gonna.
So just a quick question. So the idea is that each cohort sort of adds something to these slides or the sort of outline? Because when you're doing a pull request, then the things get updated, right?
Yep. If
Okay.
the pull request is merged, it's gonna be updated. Yeah.
Okay.
But like, you know, that's why like this book club have been run for long, so they have like very consistent notes. I have browsed. It's kind of lacking some meme. So if you found good meme, feel free to add them, like to bother them a bit. But like, I think like the notes are very good. I will not necessarily follow them today because I'm not sure like everything makes sense and it's a bit easy to read it. So, and yeah, but yeah. Other question? So far, it seems good. I took some. I'm kind of old school, so I took my note in papers. But I have like, yeah, I agree. That's the first time like I was like always like pioneering new book club, and it was always like building everything. So here, I agree with you, Derek. It's such a pleasure to have like a benefit from everyone before us. So let's use that. So this book is the second edition. I have the first edition too. The first edition was very focused into base R. This one is apparently focused more into Erlang, the kind of meta package that the POSIT or Studio team used to build their awesome package. That's one reason I'm excited about this book, is like I'm interested also into Erlang and not just the base R function. It's not here, but I think Hadley start by introducing why you should use R. I will not go too much, but I will use one reason that he did not mention. He mentioned the communities. He mentioned a lot of very interesting point of view. And one of the reasons is R is old, and being old is cool. Like we should. that's mean like a lot of people like have bleed making that and cry tears of making it works. So we should be benefit. I mean that we can benefit from it. And I think it's a cool, like not necessarily mentioned a lot of time. I agree, like other cool stuff, bleeding edge technology are awesome. Like, and there is like pros of using cool new technology, but sometimes there is a pros on using old school technologies that everyone have like, I don't know, cooked slowly. If I take a cooking analogy, it's like well-cooked meal for a long time that stays very good. Okay. Should I go too much? Do you have like other good reasons that you should use R that Hadley did not mention? I think that's the only one. But yeah, do you have other reasons?
I would add one, and it's very contentious. But there is an advantage in R being a non-traditional programming language. There are a lot of people, like, for example, if you ever go on the internet and just type in why does R do this, there's a meme page that always comes up that says for compatibility with S, which was the predecessor to R. And for a lot of computer programmers, that's like a non-answer, right? Like that answer doesn't make sense. But it means that R kind of allows a lot of people, like we're seeing the diversity of folks' backgrounds here. It means that R doesn't force people to know everything about data structures and algorithms in week one of of using R. You know, there are some benefits to just sort of opening up RStudio for the first time, opening up an R Markdown or a Quarto and having something ready in 10 minutes. Whereas, you know, if you were to learn starting from Python, sometimes you get a lot of friction because it's like, okay, start with your IDE and start with your environment manager, VN. And now you have to learn how to print hello world. And now you have, you know, R, because it's weird, the on-ramp is different. And that doesn't necessarily be better, but different can be useful.
Yeah, I will agree. I totally agree with that. John, I do not have a good tip to searching for R. I think a lot of time I find myself better. Like this is something that I have struggled a lot before, like using the help pages and just reading the basic documentation. But sometimes, like especially now with the current state of the web, it's kind of difficult to find like good advice. So a lot of time spending a bit, and that's also one good point that Hadley mentioned is like the documentation usually in R and R package are very good. So yeah, definitely like everyone, I'm Google stuff and using Stack Overflow and copy pasting. But sometimes reading the doc and running the example, I find myself running the example. I think there is even a R function, bash function that run the example for you. And running the example help you like a lot. But and I use AirStat also. Yeah.
Another thing I would also suggest for a reason to learn R is this is when people ask me, you know, what should I learn? I often ask them, what do your colleagues use? And I know that's maybe a silly question, but like, you know, if everyone around you uses R, like why learn Python unless you are planning to like do a really serious long career and you want, you know, you want other reasons to pick a language. But a lot of the time we're communicating, we're not working in isolation. So working in a language that a lot of people in your field or in your, you know, institution use is also a benefit. And for a lot of people in data science or like sort of academic science, that's R.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I will say like Hadley mentioned that a bit, a pro and con, but he said it like R focus on my not on result rather than process. I think it's page. So I go back to default of academia and setting my. It's page 2 at the bottom of it, and I think it can be seen as a negative when you came from computer science, but I see it as a positive. It's like a lot of people just do not care too much about. I mean, here I think a lot of people, like every one of us, want to get a deeper knowledge on how it understand, but a lot of folks and maybe your coworkers was just to have stuff being down. And if stuff being down meaning like you either need to install Conda and smash your operating system with Conda, or doing a pip freeze and people, I mean, every like managing Python dependency can be sometimes challenging. While R, like you just can focus on just writing a script, and it, if you being a bit careful, it will probably work. If you like the compatibility with S, it will probably still working. In fact, I learned I didn't learn R. I first learned S when I was in university. As weird as it seems. Okay. But I think, yes, it's important to keep that in mind. I feel like focus more on resolving the issue than the pro. And it's also a challenge, but I think it's also a huge opportunity because like we do not spend too much time on the meta discussion, but just on how can it works. Okay. Did some of you have read some of this book? Feel free to say no. So that's good because like I had like the French version of the structure and interpretation of computer program, which is very funny because like that's I found it for very dirty cheap, but I never moved past the second chapters. So at one day I want to read it. I heard this one was good, but I never read it. So feel free, and I never heard about this one. So if you have anything to say about it or recommend. No. Okay, let's move on. I'm not going too much into the what's new because but that's one point that I should say. The previous version did not have colors. Colors are awesome. This I want to first link doesn't work for me for the which link does not work for you, James?
The first one on the structure interpretation of computer program.
The SIP, I can find that for you.
Well, I mean, I could probably look it up, but I'm just
Yeah,
the
yeah,
link there doesn't work. So
yeah, it's free, by the way. You can find it. It's a free resource. The first version, the new version is in Python, and the previous version were on Lisp, if I'm correct. But it's on the MIT site, and you have it here. Let me pass that on the chat. If the link was not, that's good issue and good pull request that we should submit. Okay. This is also something the book club will bring us in 2025. So it's gonna be in 1 year that we will end it, 6 months. That's a lot of chapters. And we are trying to start now, it's a lot of commitment for a lot of people. I think the foundation are definitely important. And after we're gonna maybe change the maybe you are just in foundation and maybe not too much into functional programming, but more into object-oriented programming, or you just want to go to the meta-programming technique, it's fine. It's something the community is trying out is maybe we're gonna split a bit also the following of this book club in more bucket. But the overview of the book is pretty straightforward. I will say it's very much computer sciencey, except we are not gonna straight start by the data type, but more in the name and stuff. Then we're gonna move into functional programming. Do not be afraid. It's not that difficult. OOP, object-oriented programming. After that, and the meta programming, it's kind of the cool stuff you can do with R that everyone do not like, including myself, but that's all very cool stuff. That's operating on the language itself. So it's cool, but when you debug that, it's no comments. That's
Forgot to mention that metaprogramming is one of the things I really want to get better at.
Yeah, me too, but every time I do stuff, I break stuff. Anyway, which I guess is how you learn. That's already it for this introduction. So maybe we should, I mean, with that, the book club does not need to be 1 hour. But usually with the chapters, this is a correct amount of work. I will say, as someone who have done quite some book club, it's really important to do the exercise. I said that at every beginning, and I failed to do all of them every time. But but sometimes just pick one and try to go through it. I have read I think the first 3 chapters, and I really like how Hadley design his exercise. I feel when I was a teacher, I was probably doing a bad job of designing exercise after seeing how he design is. So those exercises are very well designed for you to learn. It's totally fine if we try some together. That's it. So if you have any question or remark, feel free, and then we can meet next week. I'm super excited that we are a lot of us that from different backgrounds and different places. I hope we are not too late for people in Europe or Africa, because I think this is kind of the big differences. But yeah. Any remark, question?
On the sign-up sheet, why is the block red for 2 weeks from now?
Because no one have put something, and this is probably I'm not I hate Google shit. But I think when the color is just checking what's the previous, and if the previous is green or selected, but the next one is not, it just show red. Like I don't want to remove Gabby, but if I remove Gabby, Gabby will be orange here if she's not putting something here. This is how the spreadsheet is designed. I always like super jealous of people who have spreadsheet skills because I do not have that. But like, let's see, try it. See, it's orange. So I'm gonna put Gabby back. Sorry, Gabby. But this is just the design of it. Like, you know, this spreadsheets that is gonna be used by every book club. I've been through a lot of process of improvement. And that's how it works, yeah. So I will check next week if someone wants to do vectors. And yeah, we can spend a bit of time on that. We're gonna have like a bit of vacation. I think it's July and August, and then go back. Yeah. Any other question? No, seems good. I really encourage you like to, if you have question, if you want to share something, do it on Slack or other like, yeah, it's very important. I think the community is very friendly. So no worries like asking question. I ask them question all the time. And I do error all the time. So do not be afraid. Everyone yeah, I use it to say like, for example, the first time I used R, I spent 3 times opening a CSV. So 3 days to open once. So do not be afraid to ask questions. You definitely use the everyone's knowledge. And it's also like a good opportunity to meet other people. And yeah, if for the people who lives in Greensboro, I think it's John. I'm usually working on a co-working space downtown, close to the brewery. So if you want to have a drink, feel free to ping me.
So
It's not fair.
you're drinking in full time and having some R work on the side at the brewery.
What? Yeah, that's it. That's, you know, like because we have free beer at the co-working. So yeah, that's drinking all the time. And sometimes I push some cuts.
It's making me so jealous. That is so unfair.
Well, it's not exactly like that, but yeah, sure.
No, I mean, just being able, I don't have much of it. Like I'm in a small town, so we don't have a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot of like, local people. So we have
Yeah.
at least a couple breweries. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure like Canada have and everyone around have nice brewery too. Yeah. Okay.